Hi, I'm Kristen Piper, and this is my presentation for microeconomics class on consumer choice theory and the fast food industry and how consumer choice theory affects the growth and likely continued growth of the fast food industry. As a consumer in the United States and traveling through different towns and cities, you may notice the various and multiple different types of fast food restaurants that you encounter throughout your travels. So why has fast food grown so popular in the United States as well as the global market? Well, we can use consumer choice theory as an explanation as to why this has occurred, and three principles of consumer choice theory, price, convenience, and preferred diversity, help explain why fast food also has grown in popularity. Prior to the development of fast food restaurants, fast food typically was seen as vendors on street markets and marketplaces selling ready-made food to local consumers. And even in ancient times, taverns and street vendors sold wine-soaked bread, soups, cooked vegetables to patrons. But in 1921 in the United States, a White Castle first opened its doors to the public selling 5-cent burgers. And then fast food quickly became more affordable and is now substituted for full dine-in service restaurants. And in 2023, there are now over 207,827 fast food restaurants located in the United States. And the market size for fast food restaurants has grown from 2012 to 2023 from 230.25 billion to 387.5 billion in the 2023 market. After taking the US by storm, fast food restaurants moved to places like Canada and the United Kingdom. And by the year of 1975, McDonald's had expanded into Hong Kong, China, and other parts of Asia. Then this did very well there because it offered them an affordable American dining experience without a high cost and equity in food that Asia had not been experiencing at that time. And it also allowed underdeveloped countries to be a part of the global economy and market for the first time, whether that be by consumption of the products or by employment of the fast food restaurants. And by 1992, 7 out of 10 of the busiest McDonald's in the world were located in Hong Kong, China. Consumer choice theory focuses on consumers and how they will allocate limited resources of various goods and services to maximize utility. So in economics, the theory does assume that consumers are rational decision makers and will make choices based on the marginal utility that is derived from each additional unit of consumption. So if you recall, marginal utility states that you will obtain additional satisfaction for more units consumed, but it will not be as satisfying as the previous unit that was consumed prior to that. So an explanation of like fast food, say you order a hamburger and it satisfies your hunger and it tastes good, and you order a second one and it's still good, but not as good as the first one that you had. And if you continue to eat hamburgers, eventually you may start feeling sick or even throw up. At that point, you will have negative marginal utility. Choices are also affected by preferences constrained by budget, time, and availability of products. So different constraints help form the decision-making process and help determine consumption patterns. So people who face time restraints, budget limitations, or wish to have a variety of options, fast food offers a great opportunity to maximize utility. When you apply consumer choice theory to the fast food market, you can see how fast food restaurants can satisfy consumer needs readily. One large factor that drives consumer choice and the fast food market is the price and affordability. Consumer choice theory does dictate that when goods are cheaper, consumers are more likely to buy and consume them. And budget constraints in the field of economics revolves around the idea that a given consumer is limited to their consumption depending on how much capital that they possess. So law of demand dictates when prices increase, demand falls, and when price decreases, demand increases. And it has been found that demand for full-service restaurants is sensitive to full-service restaurant prices, in which fast food is a cheaper alternative and provides a substitute for. And fast food restaurants are often able to provide a cheaper alternative due to mass production, the use of economies of scale, and standardized processes that all help reduce costs. And in regards to income, the income effect is the change in choices of consumption depending on how much amount of money is available for the consumer to spend. And this is typically demonstrated from an income consumption curve of different types of goods. In a study done from USDA's 2012-13 National Household Food Acquisition and Purchase Survey, the primary respondents in households that spent more of their food budget on fast food tend to be younger, employed, and have children, while respondents in households that spend more on full-service sit-in restaurant meals are employed, married, and have high education levels. But fast food is often a low-cost alternative to traditional dine-in restaurants for consumers with lower incomes, and in an effort to increase fast food, they are able to offer things like value menus, promotional discounts, which benefit consumers under budget constraints. And this also ties into marginal utility as well, because consumers will look to maximize utility at the lowest possible cost. So utils can be measured by the satisfaction of utility gained from consuming a product. And when considering marginal utility, you can consider a person consuming fries. So they consume, one order of medium fry, which gives 7 utils of satisfaction. But the second medium fry only produces 4 utils. And the fourth, they start feeling ill, they throw up after the fifth, and then again, that would explain negative utility. And consumers will strive to gain maximum utility at the lowest cost. So convenience and time utility have a large impact on consumer choice theory. Time constraints, they have a massive impact on our lives as consumers, and these can include work schedules, commuting to and from work, and also childcare, which is a big time constraint for a lot of people. It's been found that time constraints from jobs do create shifts in demand from making food at home to buying ready-made food away from home. Employment of a household head increases spending in fast food restaurants by 13%, and households with children purchase 19% more fast food. And considering that, it can be said that childcare and having children in the home can largely affect the demand for fast food. Due to time restraints, opportunity costs of spending the time making a meal at home can be too high for a lot of consumers, which will choose fast food instead. The convenience of fast food is closely tied to the concept of opportunity cost. So when it comes to fast food, the opportunity cost of preparing a meal at home is, the money spent on the groceries, the time spent shopping, meal prepping, actually cooking the food, and then the cleanup afterwards. And for a lot of people, they consider it too high for many consumers. So by contrast, fast food provides a quick and an easy alternative that allows consumers to save both time and effort. Preference diversity is the third principle of consumer choice theory that we are going to discuss. And the diversity and customization options that are possible and provided by fast food restaurants are so many. Fast food restaurants themselves are diverse in the different types of foods that they offer. Although they offer the same type of utility, which is, it tastes good and it fulfills our hunger and our need for food, they also offer the same type of products that are alike, but with so many different options to choose from. So like, for example, American fast food restaurants, you have McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, etc. They all sell beef burgers, fries, things like that, but you also have different options of a chicken sandwich or a fish sandwich, different varieties and drinks. You can get different condiments on, your sandwiches. You can substitute sides for other options that you would like. There's different types of food, such as Mexican restaurants, things like that, where again, they all sell different types of things, but you have Taco Bell, Qdoba, Chipotle. They all are similar foods, but they have different options and different things to choose from. So they all have similar products, but they all differ from each other. Each has their own versions of the same types of products, and they can be customized to your liking. So you can exclude toppings or add different condiments, toppings. There's so many options for fast food. It is unlimited. They're now offering vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, low-carb options have been added to many fast food restaurant menus. All of those conditions allow for ultimate varied consumer preferences to be satisfied, because you can choose and pick what you would like for your food, on your food, and with your food. So in conclusion, consumer choice theory provides valuable insight into the elements that drive the popularity for fast food. And price, convenience, and preference diversity are all critical in the influence of consumer decision making. For consumers with price restraints and income budgets, affordability it offers is a great choice for them. It also appeals to those who have significant time constraints, so the convenience it offers appeals to them. And various menu options and the ability to customize provides consumers the diversity that they seek in their food, offering them preference diversity. So as the demand for convenience, lower price, and variety grows, fast food will likely remain an essential part of modern consumer behavior, which further reinforces the validity of consumer choice theory. Thank you.